Here it is again. Hello, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv, and today I'm going to talk about Google Android, and most notably the Android Marketplace. You may recall a few months ago I did a few videos. I did an Android series on the Google Android OS. I was provided a review unit by T-Mobile, and I talked about the pros and cons of it, and I talked about the Android Marketplace. You can go look at that video if you want to see my thoughts on the marketplace. But today I saw an article over on MacNN.com or Electronista.com, which talks about Android apps being plagued by low sales and odd rules. So this article points out and it takes an approach that the Android apps, the top Android apps, only average a certain amount of money per day, and it compares it, I think, unfairly to the iTunes App Store. And you know, that is a valid point. Compared to the iTunes App Store, Android Marketplace does have a ways to go. But on its own merit, I think it is a good app store, and it is a definite improvement over what was available to the market in the past. Now, the iTunes App Store has kind of raised the bar, and they've raised it very, very high. According to this article, a top app in relation, it says an iPhone app with a 5th place position in the top apps is predicted to earn about $3,500 US a day. And the same thing for an Android title, according to this article, will only average about $62.39 a day. So, well, actually it says $62.39 for all of its apps combined. That's the daily average revenue for all of its apps combined. That's low. It is low. Like I said, it's comparative to the iTunes App Store. But I think in its own merit, I think the Android Marketplace is a good start. And when I used it, I was like, okay, this is cool. It does the basic things right. It's not as seamless as iTunes App Store, but you know, iTunes App Store has been out for a while. It is Apple. Apple is a good, I don't want to say, well, they're good at making user interfaces and user experiences. And I think Google Android Marketplace needs to be tweaked, I think, over time, and it will be refined to where it'll be comparable to the iTunes App Store. But for right now, I'll admit, it isn't where it should be. I mean, I think it should be a little bit better than where it is now, but not by a lot. You know, I think it's pretty much on par. And a lot of people who use G1s, they love them. They swear by them. They believe they're great devices. They like the marketplace. And I haven't talked to many Android users who are unhappy with the OS itself. The only complaints I have been related to the hardware. So check this article out. I'll put the link in the show description. And it talks about some of the quirks of the odd rules and stuff like that. I don't want to get into that. The main thing I wanted to talk about was the low sales and how it compares. They compare it to the iTunes App Store. I don't think it should be a fair comparison. But it is going to be interesting. As time goes on, we'll see how Android matures. We'll see how they compare to the iTunes App Store after a couple years out there, and hopefully things will get better. Alright, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv. These are my thoughts on the Android apps supposedly being plagued by low sales.